Hi, writers. Welcome to the writer's room. This is a different writer's room. I'm in a robe. We've never done this before, but I just felt inspired to kind of change up what we were going to do for this week's writer's room because I flew into Philadelphia to attend the AWP Writing Conference. It's the Association of Writers and Writing Programs. I've mentioned it in the past. They have an annual conference that moves cities each year, and this year it's in Philadelphia. So I'm jumping on. It's the evening before. I'm going to be doing a sneak preview of my new fiction collection. I don't have the publication date yet because my agent is working on all of that. But they've invited me to read as part of my affiliation with Northwestern University, which is so exciting. And the reason I want to do a writer's room on this is because I'm going to be bringing you behind the scenes of the whole conference. So how to get the most out of a conference, what are best practices to the dreaded network, like turn it into something inspiring and authentic and fun, how to make connections for whether it's to present or to find a publisher, an agent, other collaborators, inspiration for your next project, being in literary community with your sheroes and heroes. I'm going to be bringing you all kinds of fun stuff on social media and different places that will bring you with behind the scenes from the conference. But I just was running through my piece that I'm going to be reading tomorrow night, and I realized that there's a phenomenon that's happened multiple times for me, and I wanted to share it here because my gut is that there's something here for you right now. Like there's a next big place that you're going to present your book and your thought leadership, and I want to share the technique that I use to make that happen. You might like the word manifest, you might like hate that, and makes you think of things you don't like The Secret or something, but whatever we want to call it, there are ways that I have discovered to help me go from having a fantasy of something to having a reality of something. So here's the example. A number of years ago, I got to live in England, in London, for several years, and there was a huge expo, and it was like a wellness expo, and I was really into my writing, doing a lot of wellness writing and nonfiction writing about healing and trauma and all of that. And I went to this expo, and it blew my mind. It was like, just the most incredible melting pot of healers and products and inspiration and innovation going on in the world of quantum healing and health. And it really inspired me. And I suddenly had this rush when I was sitting there of desire to be speaking on that stage the next year. I was like, I want to present. I don't just want to come here as a participant next year. I want to present. And if you're in this community and you're watching this video right now, my guess is that there is a version of this for you. I don't know if it's a podcast you'd like to be on, a stage, a program you want to start, a business you want to launch, a course, your book. I don't know what it is for you today, but what I'm going to invite you to do this week from the writer's room is tap into the vortex with me. And the vortex is, instead of saying, which is very easy to do, oh, you're not, big enough, known enough, something enough, an expert enough, who's going to pick you? I just said, by next year, I'm speaking at this conference. And I just walked around the rest of the day pretending that I was a presenter. I was not a presenter. I didn't have that cool badge. I wasn't doing anything. No one knew who I was. Didn't matter. I just enjoyed the experience, soaked it in. I didn't do any ass kissy stuff. I didn't do anything inauthentic. I just walked around being a presenter. I didn't know what I was going to present. I developed nothing at that point, but I felt the desire. And all through the year, I would just envision myself at that conference. So about 8 weeks before the expo's coming up, I still have nothing. I don't have a proposal. You're supposed to propose many times. And I'd started apprenticing with a woman that owned a holistic clinic in London. And I just loved what she was about. And she needed someone to do some writing for that. She this is the best. She got invited to write a column for a magazine. She's like, I don't want to write that column. I was like, oh my God. Oh, she's like, would you just do that for me? I was like, yes. And she gave me all kinds of other things to do. And I got to apprentice with her. And I got published, right? So it was really exciting. And she's like, I don't care about the byline. Just talk about the cool work we're doing here and it can be your byline. So anyway, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, she suddenly comes to me and says, hey, I know it's a lot to ask, but if you're willing to give up a weekend next month, I'm supposed to present at this big expo thing. And oh my God, I have so much, because she was running this big company and they ended up being in Fast Company and getting distribution, all these US markets. So she was building and scaling a business. And she said, and I don't have the bandwidth. Like, would you consider possibly your great at presenting, what you consider presenting, you know, on our behalf and being there, kind of running our booth. So I presented at that conference the very next year. I didn't have the plan. I didn't have the how. What I made was the conscious vision. And I just nurtured that vision throughout the year and said, I don't know how, but I'm presenting at that conference. I don't know how that's going to happen. And just kept envisioning, use the power of our brain to create the tipping point. Because remember, our subconscious doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. You suggest something enough and the right things start to magnetize. And you'll also get intuitions. I learned this from a neuroscience when researching the new book. You will get actual intuitions for like a place to go or who to sit with. Your brain is going to be sort of activated. It's so much more powerful. Remember those statistics that we use, you know, less than 8% of our brain. So your brain knows like where to guide. So part of it is our own action. You know, I apprenticed with this woman. I showed up, I served her, I supported her vision. So I wasn't just, you know, handed this, but I didn't know she was going to invite me to present at that conference. I had no idea she was doing it. Okay. So now fast forward to 2022. And when I went to the first AWP conference a number of years ago before the pandemic, I just got on a writer's high. I felt does this happen to you ever? Like if you're with like-minded, awesome colleagues, you just get expanded. And I walk down the hallways, like there's Jennifer Egan, there's Karen Russell, like writers that I love or like right there and even talk to some of them. It's very exciting. And I felt so filled up and so inspired. And one day I even left the conference and just wrote for 3 hours straight, just like, so I'm inviting all of you into this story. And I'm sitting here in my robe, getting ready to, I've done my rehearsing and I'm getting ready to go get some dinner. And I'm letting you know this because I knew at that first AWP that I want to present at AWP at some point. And you have to apply a year ahead of time. There's all these things. And it happened. And I'm going to do this event affiliated with Northwestern, which I'm so honored and excited to do. And I envision that in a future year, I'll be main staging and you know, sharing from another book that's out, because that would also feel joyful to me, right? So what is this power that we have that starts with a vision, starts with a yes to yourself? What are you going to yes yourself? What's that place? What's your AWP or your health expo or your, I don't know, so-and-so's mastermind? What stage, what program, what, you know, what do I want to call it? Ecosystem. Are you being called to be more visible that you desire, that just in just like, God, I would freak out if I was on the whatever show? That's available for you. And your homework this week, if you choose to accept it, is to yes yourself and say, yeah, I am going to be on that stage or on that show or launch this thing or be at that mastermind. And you start carrying yourself in your body physiologically like you're already equal and worthy and capable and all those things. And then just keep envisioning it. That's what activates your intuition, the synchronicity. Suddenly you're a magnet. You're the one that pops in someone's head and says, you know what we should have? And it's you that they email. I'm so freaking excited for you. I am very excited to bring you the behind the scenes of AWP. And I want to know, you can come on Facebook or Instagram, or let us know, let me know, what's that for you? What's the next place? Because you might have, like I had the health expo, then it was on to something else, right? What's your next place? And I will see you behind the scenes at the conference, everybody.